What if I told you the reason you can't focus, can't stay consistent, and can't follow through isn't because you're lazy, it's because your brain has been hijacked. Every scroll, every notification, every quick hit of entertainment is silently rewiring you. And the scary part, you didn't even notice it happening. Think about it. You sit down to do something important, just one task, but within minutes, your hand reaches for your phone, not consciously, automatically. That's not a lack of discipline. That's conditioning. Your brain has been trained to crave stimulation constantly, and anything that feels slow, hard, or meaningful, it now feels unbearable. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a method, simple, almost uncomfortable, that can reverse this. Not in months, in days. It's called dopamine detox. And when done correctly, it doesn't just reset your focus, it rewires how you experience life itself. The real question is, are you ready to sit in silence long enough to take your brain back? Because most people won't. You're not distracted because you lack ambition. If anything, it's the opposite. You have goals, not small ones either. You've imagined a better version of your life, more focused, more disciplined, more in control. Maybe you've even felt it before. For a day, a moment, a short burst where everything just clicked. But then, something always pulls you back. Every day starts the same way. You wake up with intention. There's that quiet voice in your head. Today will be different. And for a moment, it feels real. You sit down. You're ready. Focused. Then it begins. Just a quick check, just one notification, just one video. And your brain says, this will only take a second. But it never does. Because 1 turns into 5. 5 turns into 30. And before you even realize it, something important is gone. Not just time, your momentum, or that invisible energy you had at the start disappears. And the worst part, it doesn't feel like failure. There's no dramatic crash, no big mistake. It's quiet, almost invisible. You just feel slightly off, like you drifted without noticing. And that's what makes it dangerous, because over time, that pattern starts to shape how you see yourself. I'm just not consistent. I always get distracted. I can't stick to anything. And you start believing it, not as a temporary phase, but as your identity. But let me ask you something. What if that version of you isn't actually you? What if it's just a pattern, repeated so many times, it feels like who you are? Because here's the truth. Most people never stop to consider you weren't born distracted. You were trained by your environment, by constant stimulation, by systems designed to pull your attention away over and over again. So of course you struggle. Anyone would. But the moment you see this clearly, something shifts. Because if this version of you was learned, then it can be unlearned. And once you realize that, you stop blaming yourself and start questioning everything. Your brain isn't broken. It's optimized, just not for the life you actually want. Think about this. Every time your phone lights up, every time you get a like, a message, or a new video pops up, your brain releases dopamine. And most people think dopamine equals happiness. It doesn't. It's anticipation. It's your brain saying, this could be good. Do it again. Now, pause for a second and imagine what's really happening. You're not getting that signal once or twice a day. You're getting it hundreds of times. Scroll, hit, scroll, hit, scroll, hit. Short videos, fast cuts, new faces, new sounds, endless novelty. It's like feeding your brain junk food every few seconds. And here's the part no one tells you. You're not just consuming content. You're training your brain. You're teaching it to expect constant reward. Instant stimulation, immediate payoff, zero delay. So when you sit down to study and nothing exciting happens in the first 10 seconds, your brain goes, wait, where's the reward? Or when you try to work on yourself and progress feels slow, your brain whispers, this isn't worth it. And when you start building something meaningful, something that actually matters, it feels boring. Not because it is, but because your brain has been conditioned to reject anything that doesn't deliver instant gratification. And this is where the trap tightens. You start thinking, maybe I'm just not disciplined. Maybe I don't have what it takes. But that's not true. Look closer. It's not that you can't focus. It's that your brain has been recalibrated. Like turning up the brightness so high that normal light starts to look dim. Real life didn't become boring. Your baseline changed, and without realizing it, you begin avoiding the very things that could change your life, not because they're hard, but because they don't hit fast enough. That's a trap. And until you fix this, Until you reset what your brain finds rewarding, no productivity system, no motivation hack, no morning routine will ever stick because you're trying to build discipline on a reward system that's working against you. Here's where most people get dopamine detox completely wrong. They think it's about removing pleasure. Cut everything out. No phone, no music, no entertainment. Just sit there and suffer. Like, discipline alone is the solution, but that's not the truth because the problem was never pleasure. It was overstimulation. And those two are not the same. See, your brain isn't designed to live in a constant flood of excitement. It's designed for contrast, highs and lows, effort and reward, silence and stimulation. But when everything becomes stimulating, when your day is filled with constant noise, fast content, endless input, something strange happens. Nothing feels meaningful anymore. Even things you used to enjoy start to feel dull. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you tried to just sit in silence? No phone, no background noise, just you and your thoughts. It felt uncomfortable, didn't it? Almost like something was missing. Like you needed to fill the gap. That feeling, most people call it boredom, but it's not. It's withdrawal. Your brain is so used to constant stimulation that when it disappears, it panics. It craves something, anything. And this is the moment most people fail. They sit there for a few minutes and think, this isn't working. I feel worse, not better. So they go back to scrolling, back to noise, back to the addiction loop that feels normal, but keeps them stuck. But here's what's actually happening under the surface, something powerful. Your brain is recalibrating, it's lowering its baseline, resetting what normal feels like, becoming sensitive again, like turning down the volume after it's been blasting all day. At first, everything feels too quiet, but give it time, and suddenly you start noticing things again. Focus feels easier. Simple tasks feel satisfying. Silence feels peaceful. This is the hidden truth most people never realize. You don't need more motivation. You need less noise because once your brain resets, the same things that once felt boring, studying, working, building, start to feel engaging again. And that's the shift. Not forcing discipline, but restoring your ability to feel. And when that happens, everything changes. So how do you actually do a dopamine detox the right way? Not extreme, not unrealistic, but something you can actually stick to. Because let's be honest, most people fail before they even start. They try to cut everything at once, go from constant stimulation to nothing, and their brain rebels. So instead, you follow a simple 3-phase system. Phase 1, awareness. Before you remove anything, you observe. Just watch yourself for a day. When do you reach for your phone? Is it when you're bored, stressed, avoiding something? Notice the moments, that split second where your hand moves almost automatically. That's not you being weak, that's autopilot. And awareness is what breaks it, because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Phase 2, reduction. Not elimination, reduction. You don't need to disappear from the world, you just need to create friction. Make the bad habits slightly harder. Delete one app, turn off notifications, move distracting apps off your home screen. Set boundaries. Maybe you only check social media at night. Maybe you keep your phone in another room while working. Small changes, but they interrupt the loop, and that's the goal. Not perfection, interruption. Because once the cycle breaks, your brain starts waking up again. Now, phase 3. This is where everything either works or falls apart. Replacement. Most people remove stimulation, but leave a void. And your brain hates empty space, so it goes back to what's familiar. That's why you don't just remove, you replace with low dopamine activities. Reading a few pages, taking a walk without music, sitting with your thoughts, writing things down. At first, it will feel slow, even uncomfortable. Your brain will whisper, "This is boring." Good. That means it's working because slowly something starts to shift. Your mind becomes quieter. Your focus becomes sharper. Simple things start to feel enough. And here's the real transformation. You're no longer chasing stimulation. You're rebuilding sensitivity. You're teaching your brain to find value in less. And that's where real control begins. Not when everything is easy, but when you no longer need constant noise to feel okay. Now this is where it becomes real. Because dopamine detox isn't just something you try for a few days. It's something you become. Not a challenge, not a trend, a shift in how you live. So don't overcomplicate it. Start small. 1 hour a day, no phone, no background noise, no distractions, just you and one task. It sounds simple, but when you actually sit down to do it, you'll feel it immediately. Your mind starts racing. Random thoughts pop up. You suddenly remember things you need to check, and then comes that urge, that quiet pull to escape. Just check your phone for a second. Take a quick break. It feels harmless. But this is the moment that matters, because most people react. They give in without thinking. But you don't. This time, you sit with it. You let the discomfort be there. No distractions, no escape. And something interesting happens. It doesn't kill you. The urge rises, peaks, and then fades. And in that small moment, you've done something powerful. You've interrupted the pattern, because every time you resist that urge, you're not just being disciplined. You're rewiring your brain, quietly, gradually, but permanently. Think of it like this. Every distraction you resist is a vote for a new version of you. And those votes start to add up. Day by day, something shifts. You sit longer without checking your phone. You get through tasks without needing a break every 5 minutes. Your mind feels less chaotic, cleaner, clearer, calmer. And the things that once felt impossible, deep focus, consistency, control, start to feel normal. Not because you forced it, but because you trained it. And here's the real transformation. You stop telling yourself, I lack discipline. You stop identifying as someone who can't focus. Instead, you become someone who can choose. Choose where your attention goes. Choose what you engage with. Choose what you ignore, not perfectly, but intentionally. And in a world designed to steal your attention every second, that ability, it's rare. It's powerful. It's an advantage most people will never build. So the next time you feel that urge, that pull to escape, scroll, distract yourself, pause and ask yourself one simple question. Am I feeding the old brain, or am I building a new one? If this hit you, don't just move on. Start today. 1 hour, no distractions. And every time you choose focus over escape, you're taking your mind back.